you still be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be
Hello and welcome to the new and improved Beginner Pilates series. My name's Margaret. I'm a certified Pilates instructor and I'm going to be moving you through this series. And today's class is a full body class. We're going to be working on the transition from being down on the mat to coming up to stand. Hopefully that makes you excited for this class. If not, we're gonna move through it anyway. We'll start down on our mat, coming into a seated position, whatever that is for you. Cross-legged, legs out in front of you, sit in a long butterfly. We'll take our 4 deep breaths and then we will get moving. Hands come to the tops of your legs. Take a roll of the shoulders to open up through your chest, letting the shoulders relax down and back as you reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale through the nose, filling the body up with air, expanding through the rib cage from side to side and front to back. And then we can exhale out, let all of that air go. Good. For 3, inhale. And exhale, let it go. For 2, inhale. And exhale, let it go. 1 more, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Good. With that last exhale, let's take some side body stretches, reaching the arms out to T. We'll shift over towards the left hand down, right arm reaches up and over. And then exhale, we come on up through center, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up and over, opening up through your left side. Come up through center. We'll do 2 more over to the left. And then over to the right. 1 more over to the left. Good. And then over to the right. Perfect. Everything will come right up through center. You can reach your legs so they go in front of you. Let's bend the knees, feet about hips distance. Hands can come behind the hamstrings. We'll inhale, sit up tall. Exhale as you draw in from the belly button. You start to curve your spine. Good. We're going to curve it and roll it all the way down to the mat. Good. Once you get right there, head can come down. Walk your feet in a little bit closer, I'd say about hips distance apart. Arms reach above the shoulders, fingertips towards the ceiling. Try to tilt the hips back towards your rib cage so you find your neutral spine. Exhale as you press your hands down. You're going to curl up, chin to chest, looking forward towards the center of your thighs. And then inhale, you lower all the way down. For 3, we exhale, press down, lift up. Inhale, lower. For 2, exhale, press down, lift up. And then lower. 1 more, exhale, press down, lift up. Good, and then lower. Perfect. Now we're going to go from side to side. So arms are reaching up above your chest. You can press your hands together, fingertips towards the ceiling. This time we'll exhale. We're going to twist the upper body over towards the left, reaching towards the outside of that left leg, curling up through head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, you'll come down. Exhale, you curl up to the right, reaching the fingertips to the outside of that right leg. Just for 3, we lift. And lower. Good. Now this is one that if you had your towel nearby, I don't know where mine is right now, you could use it as a support behind your head and curl up the same way. That's 2 and 2. 1 more. And then 1 more. I'm on a squeaky part of my floor. Good. Everything comes down. Hands can come down. Slide your legs out a little bit further. Okay. Now, if you can put your legs all the way to straight, I want you to try that. If you're still working with bent knees is totally fine. Plant your heels down into the mat. We'll reach the arms so they go above the shoulders, fingertips towards the ceiling. Now you'll exhale to press your hands down. We slide the hands forward, tuck chin to chest. Roll yourself all the way up to seated. Inhale once you get to the top, and then exhale, you're going to curve your spine and roll yourself all the way back down. Okay, if you feel like you've got that roll up motion down, we're gonna do the full roll up, reaching the arms back overhead. Exhale, you'll lift your arms, press your hands down, tuck your chin to your chest. Keep curving that spine to lift yourself up. Continue that curve, round forward through the upper back, reaching over for the toes. Okay, if you're not quite there yet, you're going to keep knees bent and we can move through that rolling motion like this. Be patient with yourself on the roll up. It's one that even people that have been doing Pilates a long time struggle with. So don't get caught up in that. If you feel like you don't have it down perfectly, that's okay. You just move through it however you need to. I'll show you one more rep with the full shebang of the exercise. Curving the spine, rolling back. Feet stay heavy on the mat, shoulders and head down, arms reach, inhale, exhale, press down, curving the spine. We continue that curve as we round it forward, finding a spine stretch. Let's do one more. I'll show you a modification. Heels down, knees bent, hands behind the legs, curving the spine, using the legs as a little bit of leverage all the way down, shoulders and head, arms reach back, inhale. Exhale, press the hands down, slide the hands up the front of the legs. They can move to the back of the leg to help you come all the way up. Good, and then once you come up to seated, we're going to bring ourselves up into a tabletop position. Knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. You can spread out through your fingertips nice and wide, pressing the space between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Now, we practiced this next bit a little bit, in a recent class. I'm like, I don't remember which class it was, but we're reaching the crown of the head forward. We're tucking the toes under. I want you to think about drawing in from your lower abs, like right where a seatbelt would be if you were wearing a seatbelt in a car. That is the part of our abs that we want to use to help us lift the knees. So you'll exhale, hover the knees off of the mat. Inhale, you'll lower, and we'll practice that twice more. Exhale, you'll lift. Inhale, you'll lower. For one more, you'll lift. Good, and lower. Now take a second right there. Untuck your toes, press your hips to your heels, finding your child's pose. Good, when you're ready, you pull forward, coming back to that tabletop position, tucking the toes under. This time we draw in from the lower abs, you're going to hover the knees. Now can you press your hips up and back, pressing your legs to straight, pressing your chest towards the tops of your legs. Good, can you walk your feet in a footprint? Can you walk your hands back, a handprint? So now we're in a forward fold. We've got bent knees for sure. We're letting the crown of our head reach us forward, letting our spine find some space and decompress. You'll start to press into your heels, roll your spine all the way up to stand. It's the same movement that we just did laying down, finding that deep curve to get us all the way up to stand, shoulders on top of hips, crown of the head lifts up. Once you come up to stand, you'll inhale. And then exhale, you'll go back down, nodding your chin to your chest like you're saying no or you're falling asleep, rounding forward through the shoulders, sliding your hands down the front of your legs. You're curving down, 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 keeping the belly button pulling back, soft bend into your knees. Good, hands can come down towards your feet. You take a second, little bend in the knees, plant your hands so they're down on the mat. Let's walk the hands a handprint forward, walk the feet a footprint back. You can come up onto the toes, lift the heels. You're in your down dog. Take a second, inhale, you'll lift up high onto the toes, bend the knees, and you come back down into your tabletop. Okay, we'll do that one more time from tabletop to down dog all the way to stand. Pressing into the hands, keeping the toes tucked under, drawing in from the lower abs. We hover the knees. We pause, press the hips up and back to straight legs. Walk the hands in a handprint. Walk the feet in a footprint. Soft bend into your knees. Start to roll yourself all the way up to stand. Nice and slow, shoulders lift right on top of the hips, crown of the head comes up. And then once you come up to stand, we're going to stay right here. Feet about hips distance apart. You can take your hands so they come up by your chest, bending into the elbows. You'll inhale as you send your hips down and back, finding your squat. Exhale as you press into your heels, you come back up to stand. Let's add on some arms just because my hands just can't stay still. Reaching the arms out in front of you as you send your hips back, and then pulling the elbows in as you stand up. Good. We'll go down and back, reaching the arms forward, and then press into the heels, come back up for 3, down and back for 2, reach, and then 1 more, reach. Good, and then bring it up. Hands can come down by your sides. Let's lift up onto the toes, pausing right here. If you can set yourself up by a wall or a chair, a countertop, a desk, you can do that. Just like with all of our other standing classes, we'll drop into that right heel, lifting the left, bending that left knee, and then switching through center. We switch for 4 and 4, for 3, for 2, and 1 more. Good. With that last one, your feet come in a little bit closer together. You're going back down into your squat, one hand at your front, one hand at your back. You're going down about halfway, re-tucking your tailbone and then shifting your weight over into that left leg. Get lighter through your right toes. For 4, you'll step back through that right foot and then tap the toes back. And for 3, back and in, for 2, back and in, and then last one, back and in. Right foot down, we stand all the way up. Take a second, reset the hands, one at your front, one at your back. Send the hips down and back, find your squat. Shift over into your right leg, get lighter through the left toes. For 4, we step back and then bring it in. For 3, back and in, for 2, back and in, and then last one, back and in. Press into the heels, come all the way up to stand. Now, if you moved yourself forward a little bit, take a step back towards the back edge of your mat. Again, feet stay hips distance. We relax the shoulders, inhale. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest, round it forward, soft bend into the knees. You can slide your hands down the front of your legs. Hands come down at the bottom. You'll walk your hands forward a handprint. Walk your feet back a footprint so you're up on the toes, heels lifted. Shift forward, find your tabletop. Knees come down. You can untuck your toes and then your hips go all the way back to your heels. You'll find your child's pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Perfect. Bring things all the way forward so that you lay down onto your mat. Legs are reaching back behind you. Forearms are going to come in front of you. Stack one hand on top of the other. And then rest your forehead onto the back of your hands. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Try to press into the front of your hips, finding your neutral spine. Okay, good. We take the right leg. You're going to engage that right glute, point the toes. Can you lift the right leg up and then lower it down? Same thing on the left. Can you engage that left glute? Point the left toes, lift and lower. 3 more on each side. Right leg, lift and lower, and then left, lift and lower. Good. For 2, we lift and lower, lift and lower. Last one, lift. Good. Lower, lift, and lower. Good. Relax the legs. Take a moment. Arms are going to reach out in front of you nice and long. You're still relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Slight tuck of your chin toward your chest so that the crown of your head can point forward. Now you just have to listen to me, which can be hard. I know you want to look up and see what's going on. You can look up for a second, pause, and then restart if that's going to be helpful for you. Now we do that same kind of movement, but through the arms. So we're pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. We're trying to relax the upper body. Can you lift the right arm? Think about lifting from the back of the shoulder. And then lower back down. Same thing on the left. Left arm lifts. Good. And then lowers for 3 more. Right side, lift. Good. And then left, lift. For 2, lift. And lift. 1 more. Good. And then last one. Good. Move your hands so they come just under the shoulders. Point the elbows back. Press yourself all the way up. And then reach hips back to heels as you find your child's pose. Good. Rounding forward through the spine, creating a deep curve. Inhale. Good. Exhale, let it go. And then when you're ready, let's pull forward, finding a tabletop position. We'll make a couple rotations around. Think about leading with your hips. We can bring the hips over towards the left, reaching hips towards the heels, take it through center, and then circle up and around on the right. Just for 2, over to the left, hips towards the heels, circle around, coming up on the right. 1 more, back and around. Good, and then we'll reverse, hips over towards the right. We'll press back, circle, hips towards the heels, and then come around just for 2. And then 1 more. Good. Everything can come in. You can walk your hands back towards your knees, hips towards your heels. Bring yourself up to seated. Take a moment right there. You can relax the shoulders, adjust your leggings. That's always what I have to do. They slip all around. Hopefully you enjoyed this class. Hopefully you're still enjoying the beginner series. We're right there at the end of this series, so I'm hopeful that you've learned a lot since being here. Remember, you're awesome. You can do anything you put your mind to, and I'll see you back here for our next beginner class.
You're able to